Your absence creates a powerful ripple, at first unnoticed, then deeply felt. Those who took your presence for granted suddenly face a silence that forces reflection and regret. But beyond their loss, your absence gives you space to find your own strength, clarity, and freedom. That's the real impact of walking away. Have you ever truly considered the ripple effect of your absence? We often underestimate its power. When you leave fully, completely, something shifts, not just in their world, but in yours. Your absence isn't just silence, it's a message, a powerful one. And that silence, it speaks louder than anything you could have said. At first, they don't notice. Maybe they even feel a sense of relief. You're no longer there to hold them accountable, to reflect back the truth they've been avoiding. But what they don't realize is that your presence wasn't just something extra, it was everything. When someone has been nourished by your energy for so long, they don't notice it until it's gone, like air, constant, unnoticed, until they're left gasping. You were the one who always showed up, who initiated, who carried the emotional weight. And they didn't see it, because they never had to. But now they feel it. And the silence, it's not ordinary. It's the kind that forces them to sit with themselves, their regrets, their shortcomings, their missed chances. In the absence of your voice, all they have is the echo of their own thoughts, asking the questions they never dared to face. Why did I take them for granted? Why didn't I value them when I had the chance? But this isn't about them. This is about you. This silence is your strength. It's the moment you stop explaining, stop proving, stop chasing validation. It's not revenge. It's not bitterness. It's clarity. It's peace. It's understanding that your time, your energy, your love, these are gifts. And if they weren't valued, they were never meant for them in the first place. Now they're left with the silence. But you're free. Free to focus on what truly matters. Free to give your energy to people and places that don't require explanations. Free to grow into the person you were always meant to be. So let me ask you, how has your absence shaped your life? How has it shaped theirs? If you've ever felt the weight of letting go, or the power of reclaiming your peace, comment below. I honor my silence. Let that be your declaration. Because sometimes, the loudest thing you can say is nothing at all. Now imagine this, the moment it finally hits them, not as a fleeting thought, but as reality. You're gone, not temporarily, not for dramatic effect, but completely, truly. And at first, they deny it. They think it's just a phase. You'll be back. You always came back. You were the one who forgave, who started even when it hurt. But slowly the truth sets in. Quietly it starts in the small moments. They scroll through their phone and realize they haven't heard from you. Not in days, not in weeks. The usual text, gone. The check-ins, silence. At first, they try to brush it off, but that silence, it grows heavier, until one day it breaks them. A song, a memory, a place you used to go, an old message where you poured your heart out. And suddenly, it hits, you're not coming back. And that realization, it doesn't just hurt, it haunts, because now they remember everything. Every moment you were there, every effort you made, every little way you made their world brighter. And they feel the loss not just of a person, but of a presence. A soul, a constant. And what they feel isn't just sadness, it's regret. Regret for what they said, for what they didn't, for letting ego, pride, and apathy blind them to what they had. They begin asking themselves, why didn't I see it? Why didn't I fight for them? But here's the thing. Those questions have no answers, and even if they did, it's too late. Because while they sit with that weight, you're already gone. You're not replaying the past. You're writing the future. You've walked away from one-sided connections, from cycles that drained you. You've chosen you, and make no mistake, this isn't about punishing them. Their regret, that's theirs to carry. It's not your burden to ease. Your focus stays forward. Their realization, just a ripple in the water behind you. But your life, it's an ocean of infinite possibilities ahead. If you've ever felt the weight of someone else's regret or the freedom of finally letting go, comment below. I release their regret. Let it serve as your reminder. Their feelings are not your responsibility. Your future is not tied to their past mistakes. Now, let's shift the focus. Think about the role you played in their life. For so long, you may have believed your worth was measured by how much you gave. You were the anchor, the safe harbor, the constant. You showed up when no one else did. You stayed when it would have been easier to walk away. But here's the truth. Your worth was never tied to how much pain you could endure for someone else. You were never meant to be their lesson. You were meant to be your own breakthrough. And now, you finally see it. So if no one's told you lately, this silence you've created, it's powerful, it's healing, it's yours. And in that silence, You're no longer seeking permission to exist, to be seen, or to be loved. You are simply being fully, freely. Finally, the role you played in their story, it was never really about them. It was about you, about what life was trying to teach you about your strength, your resilience, and your incredible capacity to give, even when you were receiving nothing in return. For a long time, you were their constant, the one who showed up, the one who stayed. You became the foundation they leaned on, the one who put their needs above your own. But over time, they stopped seeing you for who you were, not out of cruelty, but out of comfort, out of complacency. You became so woven into their world that they stopped noticing your presence and started expecting it. You weren't a person to them anymore. You were a fixture, and maybe, for a while, you convinced yourself this was normal, that this was your role to hold things together, to be the one who always forgives, who always tries, who always stays. But let me ask you this. How much of yourself did you lose along the way? How many of your own needs were silenced, buried beneath the noise of trying to be enough for someone else? When you chose to walk away, it wasn't just an act of leaving them behind, it was an act of reclaiming yourself, of stepping out of the role they had written for you, the one they assumed you'd never leave, and instead you wrote a new chapter, one where you are no longer the supporting cast in someone else's life, but the main character in your own. For them, this shift might be devastating. They may not realize it at first, but over time they will. They'll come to understand just how much of their comfort, their stability, even their happiness, was built on your quiet, constant effort. And now, without you, they're left with a silence they can't ignore, a silence that echoes louder than your presence ever did. But again, this isn't about them. It never was. It's about you, about realizing that the role you played was always meant to reveal something to you, to show you just how much you're capable of giving, but also to teach you balance, to show you the power in stepping back, in protecting your energy, in choosing peace. You've graduated from their story. You've moved on to something greater, a life where your worth isn't measured by how much you give to others, but by how well you honor yourself. And that choice, that's your power. So take a moment to reflect. And if this message resonates with you, write in the comments, "I am the main character in my story." Let those words ground you. Let them remind you that no one else gets to define your role. Your life is yours to lead. Now let's talk about detachment. It's a concept people often misunderstand, but in truth, it holds the key to your peace, your growth, and your freedom. Because when you walked away, it wasn't just about leaving someone behind. It was about detaching from the need for their validation, their approval, their recognition. Detachment isn't about being cold or uncaring. It's not about pretending you feel nothing. It's about understanding exactly where your responsibility ends and theirs begins. For too long, your identity may have been shaped by their opinions, their moods, their acceptance. You may have worked tirelessly to prove your worth, to make them happy, to be enough for them, but eventually, you faced a truth you couldn't unsee. No amount of effort on your part could make someone value you if they weren't willing to. And that's where true detachment begins. It's not about shutting down. It's about letting go of the illusion that you can control how others feel, how they behave, or how they respond. It's about releasing their expectations, their regrets, and their emotional weight, and returning your focus to the only thing you've ever truly had: control over yourself. Marcus Aurelius once said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this, and you will find strength. That's what detachment gives you: strength, clarity, freedom. It allows you to move forward without carrying the weight of their choices. It helps you see that their regret, their sadness, even their realization of your worth, those are not your burdens to bear. They are reflections of their journey, not yours. So if you've ever felt held back by the emotions of others, or if you're ready to finally release the weight you were never meant to carry, write in the comments, "I choose detachment." Let it be your reminder that peace begins the moment you stop trying to carry what was never yours. There's a strange irony in detachment. The more you let go, the more they begin to cling. When you stop seeking their validation, they start craving your attention. When you no longer need their approval, they suddenly begin to see what they've lost. Detachment forces them to look inward, to confront their own shortcomings, and for many, that's an uncomfortable place to be. But remember, detachment is not about them, it's about you. It's about reclaiming your peace, your power, your energy. It's about choosing to live a life where your happiness no longer depends on someone else's behavior. Think about how much lighter your heart feels when you stop trying to control the uncontrollable. Think about how much freer your mind becomes when you release the weight of other people's opinions. Detachment isn't cold, it's liberating. So as you move forward, let this truth anchor you. You are not responsible for their feelings. You are responsible for your own. Take a moment to reflect, and if this speaks to you, write in the comments, "I choose freedom through detachment." Let it serve as a reminder not just for you, but for anyone reading, that true peace begins the moment you let go of what was never yours to carry. Now let's talk about regret. It doesn't strike like lightning. It grows slowly, quietly, like a shadow stretching longer with each passing day. At first, they don't even recognize it. They brush off your absence. They convince themselves it doesn't matter, that life goes on. But regret is patient, and it does not fade. It starts with subtle reminders. A phrase you used to say, the sound of your laugh, the little things you did, the thoughtfulness they never truly acknowledged. At first, it's fleeting, but over time it grows louder, stronger, until one day they're standing in a place you used to love, hearing a song you once shared, seeing your name in a message they never deleted, and it hits them like a wave. Suddenly, the memories rush back, the presence they ignored, the love they took for granted, the small things they dismissed that now feel monumental. And the questions begin. Why didn't I listen when they needed me? Why didn't I appreciate the love they gave? How could I have been so blind? Regret is relentless. It forces them to confront not just what they lost, but why they lost it. It shows them their own ego, pride, and complacency. And here's the truth. Their regret is not your responsibility. It's not your job to ease their discomfort. Not your place to provide closure. Not your burden to carry. While they sit with the weight of realization, you're already gone. You've chosen to move forward. You're not bound by their mistakes or their inability to see your worth. You've created a life that doesn't depend on their recognition. Let their regret be their teacher, not your tether. And if you've ever felt the weight of someone else's regret, or the freedom of releasing it, write in the comments, "I am free from their regret." Let those words be your declaration of independence, a promise to yourself that the only thing you owe the past is the lesson now. Let's talk about something more important than their regret. Let's talk about you. Not the person you were when you stayed, but the person you've become since you left. While they sit in the shadow of their choices, reliving memories of what they lost, you're living something entirely different. You're not stuck in the past. You're building a future. You're transforming. When you walked away, it wasn't just about leaving someone behind. It was about choosing yourself. That choice. It took courage. It took strength. It took a level of honesty with yourself that many people never reach. You might have told yourself that staying was loyalty, that staying was noble, that staying meant love. But then you realized staying was slowly erasing you. And in that moment of painful clarity, you made the hardest decision of all. You left. And in doing so, you unlocked something extraordinary. You began to see yourself clearly, without distortion. You recognized your strength, your resilience, your worth. You discovered that your value was never tied to how much you could tolerate, or how long you could stay. Your worth is inherent, unshakable, and completely independent of anyone else's ability or failure to recognize it. This is your transformation. And transformation isn't just about moving on. It's about rising. It's about using the pain, the heartbreak, the disappointment as fuel to become something greater. You've uncovered parts of yourself that once felt buried. You've found strength that surprises you, peace that feels unfamiliar but beautiful. And here's the most powerful truth of all. While you're rising, they're watching. Maybe not directly, maybe not openly, but they see it. They see the confidence, the calm, the freedom, and it terrifies them because the version of you they once overlooked is now thriving without them. But this isn't about revenge. It's not about proving them wrong. It's about proving yourself right. Proving that you were always enough, always worthy, always whole. As Epictetus said, first say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do. That's exactly what you've done. You've stepped fully into the person you were always meant to be. And that version of you, they can't reach you anymore. You're beyond their apologies, beyond their understanding, beyond their regret. So take a moment to honor how far you've come. And if you feel this in your soul, comment below, "I am rising above." Let it be your affirmation, your anthem, your truth. Because no matter what they lost, what you found in yourself is priceless. There will be moments when you're tempted to look back. It's human nature. The past has a way of calling to us, especially when it's wrapped in memories that once felt like home. There will be nights when the silence feels too heavy, when you question if you made the right choice. Days when nostalgia tugs at your heart, reminding you of laughter, connection, the illusion that everything might work out. And then come the signs. A message, a call, a like on a photo from months ago. They're testing the waters, seeing if the door is still open. In those moments, it's tempting to wonder, have they changed? Do they finally see my worth? Could we fix what was broken? But nostalgia has a funny way of distorting the truth. It smooths the rough edges, dims the pain, amplifies the good. It makes you forget why you had to leave in the first place. So ask yourself, what would you really be looking for if you went back? Closure, an apology, a validation that they finally understand? Or would it be comfort, a familiar place to rest even if that place once hurt you? Looking back might feel warm in the moment, but it won't serve your growth. The person they were when you walked away is likely the person they still are now, because real change, true change, takes work. It takes humility, time, accountability. Most aren't willing to go that deep. Regret, it's common transformation. That's rare. You've already done the hardest part. You've moved forward. You've built something healthier, stronger, more aligned with your worth. So when that temptation to look back creeps in, remind yourself the past is a place to learn from, not to live in. It shaped you. Yes, but it doesn't define you. You've chosen to move forward, and that choice is your power. Take a moment and ground yourself. Focus on the life you're building, the peace you've created, the person you're becoming. Comment below, I choose to move forward. Let it be your affirmation, a declaration that the past no longer holds you and your future is where your focus belongs. But with regret often comes the moment they try to come back, because regret doesn't stay quiet forever. It grows, it festers, it pushes them toward action. Maybe it starts subtle, a message out of the blue, a comment, a late-night call, or something more direct, a long apology. Words that sound sincere, but you have to ask yourself what's driving this. Is it love or guilt? Is it transformation or discomfort? Because most of the time when someone tries to come back, it's not about you, it's about them, their loneliness, their guilt, their fear of facing life without you. Think about all the energy you gave, the chances, the forgiveness. Did they value it then, or did they assume you'd always be there? Now, your absence is loud. Your silence is heavy. And suddenly they notice. But recognition isn't the same as growth. Saying I'm sorry isn't the same as changing. True change is hard. Most won't do it. So when they reach out, you have a choice. Let their regret pull you backward, or protect the peace you've worked so hard to create. Ask yourself, are they reaching out because they've truly changed, or because they missed the version of you that made their life easier? You don't owe them anything. Not your time, not your energy, not a second chance. You've already given enough. So when that message comes, when their apology arrives, pause, take a breath, and remember why you walked away. Protect your peace, honor your growth, and write in the comments, I protect my peace. Let it be your promise to yourself. Let's talk about one of the hardest, most powerful things you'll ever do. Saying no, not just to them, but to the part of you that still longs for what hurt you. It's one thing to walk away. It's another to stay away. When the past comes back wrapped in sweet words and second chances, they say they've changed. They say they see your worth. They make promises that sound like everything you ever wanted. But is it real, or is it their guilt talking? Because most people don't change because they've evolved. They change because they're uncomfortable, because the absence of your presence finally became too loud. But saying no isn't about punishing them. It's about protecting yourself. It's about recognizing that your time, your energy, your love, these are sacred, and they should never be handed to someone who hasn't done the work to earn them. Think back. How many times have you said yes? Your heart was screaming no. How many times have you let someone back in only to end up in the same cycle? Saying no is an act of self-respect. It's a declaration. I value myself enough to choose peace over chaos. Growth over cycles, clarity over confusion. And here's the beauty of no. It opens the door to yes, to better. Yes, to healing. Yes, to a life you actually deserve. So the next time they come back, the next time regret knocks at your door with sweet promises, ask yourself, am I honoring myself or abandoning myself? Take a breath and say it with me in the comments. I choose to honor myself, because saying no isn't shutting people out, it's letting yourself in. And now we arrive at the final piece of this journey. The peace you've found. It's not loud. It's not dramatic. It's quiet. That's steady. Unshakable. It's single quotes, the kind of peace that whispers you made the right choice, even if it wasn't the easy one. Walking away wasn't about hurting them. It was about saving yourself. It was about choosing a life where your worth is no longer up for debate. At first, peace can feel like emptiness. You're so used to the chaos, the noise, the back and forth. But over time, you learn that what felt like emptiness is actually freedom. Freedom from proving your worth. Freedom from waiting for someone to change. Freedom to finally live without walking on eggshells. And the most powerful truth, they can't take this peace from you. No apology can shake it. No the message can undo it. Because this peace was built by your growth, your resilience, your self-respect. You've become someone who no longer needs their validation because you've learned to validate yourself. So when you think of their regret, don't think about what you lost. Think about everything you gained. Clarity, freedom, strength, a future that is finally yours. And if this resonates with you, take a breath, hold your heart steady, and comment below. I choose peace because no matter what they feel now, your peace is not for sale. Your growth is not negotiable. Your future is not behind you, it's ahead, and it's yours. Thank you for watching Stoic Blessing. If this message spoke to you like this video, subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications. You never miss a moment of clarity, growth, and inner strength. Your journey is yours to own. Your peace is yours to protect. Stay strong, stay grounded, and most of all, keep moving forward.